Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Isaiah Hill, and today I'm going to be talking about Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. And tomorrow I'm going to be covering Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory stars Gene Wilder, Jack Albertson, and Peter Osborne. It was directed by, I believe, Mel. What's his last name? Mel Stewart. I was about to say Mel Smith. And it's based off the book by Roald Dahl. And I believe they say the screenplay's even written by him, but there was like dozens of rewrites I heard, and he didn't like it. I mean, dozens is that's exaggerated, but I really do not know. But you may also know this is part of a Blu-ray double feature. The film's Hugo. I don't know when I'll be doing a review of that. I really have to watch it again because I haven't seen it in a long time. But I have seen him. But letting you know, I have seen the movie. Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is a childhood film. Like I remember, like I'm from South Mississippi, and I remember when Hurricane Katrina hit, and I was 5 years old, and we were living in FEMA trailers, and one of the films that we got like on DVD, like from like people who like donated was Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, and I loved it, and I love this film to death. It is one of my favorite films of all time. This is a film that I can literally watch for the rest of my life. You already know, I'm already going to say what the title is. It's an amazing. Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, I highly recommend. Kids of all ages will love it. People will love it. And if you guys have seen it, then you know what I mean. Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is it's a musical. And it's catchy. Like all the songs are catchy. Like the Candyman, if you guys are familiar with that, it's really a catchy song, and if you guys are fans of, I believe it's Sammy Davis Jr., I highly recommend that you check out that song. I'll put the link down in the description below for the Candyman, by Sammy Davis Jr., or like any of the songs, like it's like especially the Oompa Loompa songs, like you can't help but sing along with them at times. And the main character name is Charlie Bucket. Charlie Bucket is a very poor kid. He has no father, and he lives in a house with 5 other people. 4 grandparents and his mother and his father passed away. Now, I read the book, and I've seen both versions of the movie. But what Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, what I love about this is the kids feel like, especially Charlie, feels like a real kid. And the whole thing with Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is this. Willy Wonka is opening his factory, which has been closed for years. Like, and as no one has ever gone in, no one has ever gone out. Like, it is so secretive. But like in Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, like what's happening is Grandpa Joe explains to Charlie why the door's closed. Because people started sending in spies to steal his recipes. And one in particular he has to avoid his name is Slugworth. Excuse me. That he has to avoid him. Like, I messed that up. Where he said like he was just a nasty person. He was just looking to steal. But when they hear the news that Willy Wonka is opening his factory, the whole world is going insane. And it is beautiful, like how they're doing it. Like they show people like all over the world, like they're selling candy bars left and right. There are people, the president's like getting like his own box of chocolate, and a psychiatrist, he's talking to a patient, and he's like, where to find a Wonka ticket, and he's like, what does it say? And he gets hostile like when the person doesn't answer the question. It's like, where's the ticket? And when we find out who took it first, and this is basically like Roald Dahl's like attack. And I'm going to get to that like after I go through all the kids. The first person that we find out who did get it was in Duzahan, Germany. And his name's Augustus Gloop, a glutton. Eats everything. And right and he's very intelligent. He has a great knowledge of economics. And the thing is, like, the thing that always makes me laugh is the fact, like, how his, like, when they turn, like, the microphone over to his dad, and they're like, Mr. Glue, he bites off the microphone, and that always makes me laugh. And then you get, like, this appearance by this creepy guy who has a scar on his face, and you're like, what? But then like you get like Charlie's birthday party. Like I call it a birthday party, but really it's his birthday. He gets a new scarf and he gets like a Wonka like candy. It's not a candy bar. I forget what it is. I think it's like a moon pie or something like that. I really forget. And they want him to enjoy it. They don't want to have it. They want him to enjoy it. Then when you get to find out like who won the next, like then it cuts to the person who gets the next ticket. Veruca Salt, who is so spoiled. She is so spoiled. It's ridiculous. Like her dad is making his peanut workers instead of like showing peanuts, strip off all the candy bars of the Wonka, like all the candy bar wrappers in order to find a golden ticket. And he is pushing them to their limits. And then they finally get a ticket and they give it to Veruca. And Veruca shares his mind, I found a golden ticket. Then you meet the Scarface man again. And he's talking to him, and then Veruca says, like, oh, I'm so glad that happened. And it's ridiculous, like, the level of how they're spoiled. And then we show, like, then the movie shows, like, what happens, like, Wonka Medium, like this, like, so insane. Because, like, people are like, oh, yeah, we're out of Wonka bars, we're out of here, we're out of there, so don't ask if you need one. Then we cut to, like, I believe we cut to Charlie, like, where he goes talk to his mom, like, while she's out doing laundry. And Charlie explains, like, how he doesn't think he's going to get a ticket because it seems like the odds are against him. And his mom says, like, there are over 100 billion people in this world and only 5 of them will get golden tickets. And he says, I want it more than anyone. And she's like, well, you'll be no different than the people who didn't get one. And she explains, like, and he explains, like, I want it more than anyone. And she's like, well, then you deserve it. And she sings the song Cheer Up Charlie, which always bugged me even as a kid. Like it was a song, like, I know it's meant to be, like, a song about him, like, getting cheered up, but I just never liked it. In my opinion, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, it was a song that I never cared for, but when I was a kid, but now when I'm like, when I'm a teenager, going on to being an adult, I just love it. Like, it's a song, like, that I could hear, like, a mother singing to their child. And then the next scene is Mike TV. Mike TV is obsessed with watching television. He is obsessed, and I mean, like, his mom even says that he gets all of his meals are like right in front of the TV. He doesn't even eat at the table, and it ends again like with the Scarface man, and one last ticket's out, and then we hear. And then we hear about, like, how the last ticket has been found. And they said it was found, like, by someone, I believe, like, in South America. And everyone's upset about it because Charlie was really wanting to find it. And then the teacher of Charlie's class appears to take out all his frustrations on the kids. Like, that's how I always viewed it. Like, he's just taking out all his frustrations. To the point, like, where he's even like, alright, let's just say that you did this, you did that. And he's obviously hurting Charlie. And one day, Charlie finds money, like, in the street. Like, in, like, a storm drain. And he goes and he pays for a Wonka bar. And I hear, like, a lot of people, like, say this, like, this candy shop owner is, like, not a good guy. Like, here's why. Because he whacks a kid in the chin, and he gives the kids, like, like rich kids free candy, but Charlie has to pay. And I heard that like before, but my opinion, like he's just really secretive and it's kind of creepy, but it works. Excuse me. In the film, Charlie buys two candy bars. He buys a Scrumdiddlyumptious, which is basically like a candy bar that's like that big and like this long. And he buys another one for his grandpa Joe, and it's a regular Wonka bar. And as Charlie goes out, he finds out that the person who made up the golden ticket was actually it was a fake, and it's unbelievable. Like, and then Charlie opens up the candy bar, and he finds the last golden ticket. You are so proud of Charlie that it's unbelievable. Like, and you're like, wow, like he deserves it. And then as Charlie's running through town, and he goes into and he runs into the Scarface man, who we find out his name's Slugworth, and he's saying that he wants to get an everlasting gobstopper from Willy Wonka. And as Charlie's running back home, he shows everyone the golden ticket, and he's so happy. And Grandpa Joe walks for like the first time in years. And we get the song I Got a Golden Ticket, which is a really nice song. Like, I really enjoy listening to that song. It's a very happy song. And once the song ends, now we're in front of the factory. And like I said, like I'm going to talk about these kids. Roald Dahl said he did not like television sets. He did not like greedy, spoiled children, and he didn't like kids who were gluttons, pretty much. And that's like how I see Charlie and Chocolate Factory, is like where he's attacking basically society, but while like Charlie represents the good kid. We meet Willy Wonka, who's played marvelously, perfectly by Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder is one of my favorite comedic actors. I love him in Blazing Saddles. I love him in Young Frankenstein. This film especially. All of his films with Richard Pryor. He is funny, and he is a laugh riot. When you first meet him, he's limping. And then he does a somersault. And according to him, it was in order to keep Willy Wonka mysterious. And as you go through the factory, it is amazing. All the food looks good. It is so bright and colorful. But then you get where Augustus, who can't resist the urge to start eating, falls into the river. Before I continue, my favorite song of the whole film plays, called Pure Imagination. I was watching this film one time, and it was after Gene Wilder passed away, and I started to cry because this was a song I used to love as a kid, and I still love it today. This is a song that it actually does bring a tear to my eye. Now back to Augustus. Augustus gets sucked up the pipe, and he is carried off to the fudge room. Wonka sends these Oompa Loompas, who he basically brought over from Loopaland. They're orange faced, have green hair, and they're wearing overalls. And an Oompa Loompa is just amazing, in my opinion, because they sing. And a little side note, some of the Oompa Loompas cannot speak English. And out of the 10 Oompa Loompas, one of them was a woman. So yeah, that's interesting. So 2 trivia facts. Then we get the boat ride, which is probably the creepiest thing out of the whole movie. And I am not joking. Gene Wilder does a whole poem, there's no earthly way of knowing of which direction we are going, which is in the book. That's pretty awesome. And it shows a chicken getting his head cut off. Is this meant for kids? I'm kidding, yeah, it is. But Then we get to the inventing room, and it was the most secretive place, and then we're introduced to an everlasting gobstopper that Slugworth wants. I'll get to that later. But then Willy Wonka shows them the gum making machine. Violet eats it. Violet eats the gum and avoiding the warnings. Willy Wonka gives very he just doesn't care. What Gus is, he's like, help, police, murder, or even he says this: the suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. But with Violet's like, stop, don't. It works because he's mysterious and he's so lovable that you don't want to hate him. And then Violet turns into a blueberry. And then we get another Oompa Loompa song. And then we get to the lickable wallpaper, which I heard was actually really gross. Then the fizzy lifting drinks, where it fills you with gas and it lifts you up in the air. Grandpa Joe and Charlie drink this stuff and they start floating up in the air. And they nearly get killed. They nearly get killed by a fan. And the only way how they save themselves is by belching. Then we get to the egg room, where Veruca wants geese. I want geese to lay eggs for Easter, all these things. And Wonka is not going to give up a goose to Veruca. If Veruca starts singing a song I Want It Now, which is surprisingly my opinion, the catchiest song in the whole movie. I don't know why. Other than Oompa Loompas, because I Want a Bean Feast, that, it goes on. And then Veruca just basically goes on a rampage basically and just throws everything. Oh yeah, if you guys are wondering why I'm wearing the same shirt, don't worry, I'm changing. I got 2 pairs of these, and these are really comfortable. I really like the panda design. I find it pretty funny how pandas are in tacos. But anyway, Veruca gets on the indicator, which is where good eggs, where it lets you tell you if it was a good egg or a bad egg that the geese make. And then Veruca goes straight down to a furnace. Veruca's dad follows, and then we get another Oompa Loompa song. And I really like the Oompa Loompa songs because they're because you kind of do this Oompa Loompa Doopa Dee Doo. I got another puzzle for you. It's just so much fun. Then you get the Wonka mobile, where it's just made out of where it runs off soda, which I heard in this film they actually use fumes from a fire extinguisher, and it was so bad it irritated the actor's skin. And then we get to the TV room. I'm sorry, guys, but the TV room is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. In the TV room, my TV... Well, actually, Willy Wonka's trying to, transport, candy to TV. And he does it successfully first. But then Mike is like, oh, what if you transfer people? And my TV has shrunk. He shrunk to being so tiny that his mom's able to just freely lift him up and put him in her purse. And Willy Wonka, I like his wave. And my TV is apparently going to be going to a taffy puller to stretch him out. Why a taffy puller of all places? Then we get one more Oompa Loompa song, and then we get one of the best finales of a film. Willy Wonka tells Charlie and Grandpa Joe that Charlie broke rules. And he's like, what rules? And I'm sorry I didn't mention the contract, like this insanely long contract that's like as long as that wall back there. It's like where like they have to sign like to prevent like accidents, and Wonka goes through it, and he says that like that he knows that they stole fizzy lifty drinks and they both ran a ceiling that has to be washed and sterilized, and they get nothing. Charlie, like Grandpa Joe's like, all right, fine. If Slugworth wants a gobstopper now, then we'll give it to him. But Charlie gives the gobstopper back to Wonka because he remained loyal. And then we find out like the Scarface man wasn't Slugworth. It was another guy that worked for Willy Wonka. And Willy Wonka like is so kind here, like, and he's like, I'm so sorry I put you through that. And I read that Gene Wilder did want to let Peter Osmond know that he still loved him because they have grown to become great friends, and they were good friends and they loved hanging out with each other. And he wanted to let him know that he still loved him, but the director refused because he's like, "Oh, we'll ruin it. It will ruin the authenticity. It will ruin how like it looks." And the film ends when they take the Wonkavator out, which is an elevator that goes sideways, long ways, slant ways, like everywhere. And they break out the roof of the chocolate factory. And the film ends with Willy Wonka giving Charlie the chocolate factory. And a scene that actually makes me choke up now. It's when Charlie's talking to Willy Wonka and he says, Charlie, don't forget what happened to the man who got what he always wanted. And Charlie says, what happened? And Willy Wonka says he lived happily ever after. And it's such a heart-wrenching scene. It really is, because Gene Wilder passing away and leaving behind such a great film where he's immortalized. Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory was released in, I believe, 1971, and it bombed at box office. And this film, it became big from like the video, like home video. This is a film that I highly recommend to anyone. If you haven't seen the film, I really recommend it. Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is a film that I would say is probably one of the greatest musicals of all time, and one of the greatest films of all time. And that's it. That's all I have for it. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you guys want to see more like Let's Plays, because I just did because I'm doing my Back to the Future Let's Play. If you guys wish to see more movie reviews like this, subscribe. If you guys are interested, and want to ask me a question, request something, or just say hello. I really hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I love you guys, and you guys make it worth the while to make YouTube videos like these. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a great day. My name is Isaiah Hill, signing off.